Hello everyone, this is BronyCalc, and today we are going to be going over the one problem I solved at the 2017 ARML team event, that being problem number 7, a rather fun ARML problem and one of the only quote-unquote date/calendar problems I actually enjoy. So, we're given that these two countries, which have really long names I don't want to say every 5 seconds, so I'm going to call them country A and country N, are having an shared anniversary. And it turns out that country A, first off, the year is 2017, I should get that out of the way, but you know, you can assume that. So country A is turning n squared years old, small n, not big N, and country N is turning n years old. And someone makes note that the next few years, where the age of N divides the age of A, will be 2027, 2032, 2038, and some year M. And our goal is to figure out what M is. So, before we find M, we should probably find what N and N squared are. And to do that, we're going to set up some equations. So, just making note of the years here. This is N plus 10, N plus 15, N plus 21, and the respective N squared plus years. And we're given that, first off, N plus 10 divides N squared plus 100. Before we continue, I should note what values of N we're looking for. Obviously, we want N to be positive. That's a no-brainer. But we also want N to be greater than 1. And here's why. If N were equal to 1, then N squared would also be equal to 1. And in 2018, both countries would be 2 years old, meaning that at the next anniversary where N divided A would not be 2027, but 2018. We don't want that, so N is greater than 1. So back to what we're doing here. I don't know much about N squared plus 10, but I do know another N squared plus a constant using difference of squares. N plus 10 divides N squared minus 100. That's 100. I'm just bad at writing. So if I subtract this from this, we get that N plus 10 must divide 110. So we're looking for factors greater than 11 that divide 110. But I can also look for factors less than 10, which are only going to be 1, 2, and 5, and then divide from 110. So 110 over 5 is 22, over 2 is 55, and over 1 is 110. So we don't care about any of these values. All we care about is that N plus 10 can be one of these three, which means N can be either 12, 45, or 100. Now, we don't have enough information from this equation to figure out which of the three it is, so we move on to the next one. We have N plus 15 divides N squared plus 15, but I can use the difference of squares trick to turn this into N plus 15 divides 240. So, looking at this 240 has 20 positive integer factors, and I don't want to check all of them. Fortunately, I know that I don't have to check all of them, because N must be one of these three values, so I check those three. First off, N plus 15, if N is 12, this is 27, and it doesn't divide 240. If N is 100, N plus 15 is 115, that also doesn't divide 240. So just by looking at the first two equations, not even using the third equation, 2038, I know already that N has to be 45. So I'm going to write that up here. N is 45. Using the square trick, I know that this is 2025. This is 66. I'm not going to write the rest, but this one will be important later. And then if we say M is X years after 2017, we have that N is 45 plus X and A is 25 plus X. We know that X plus 45 divides x plus 20, 25. I'm going to subtract x plus 45 just to make it simpler. X plus 45 divides 1980. So we're looking for a value of x plus 45 greater than 66. Told you that'd be important. That divides 1980. So, and we're looking for the smallest such x. So, quick note, for 1980, the only prime factors are 2, 3, 5, and 11. And if you stare at this for a few seconds, you'll notice that 90 is a factor. So, all we have to do is find a factor less than 90, or maybe no factors less than 90, and just stick with 90, or if that fit this form. So, just looking through this, we need these factors and no others. So 89 doesn't work, 88 does. Quickly, A7, A6, A5, A4, A3, A2, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67. So we just have to check these 5. So first off, note that 1980 is divisible by 4, but it's not divisible by 8. So 72, 80, and 88 don't work. It's divisible by 3, but it's not divisible by, well, it's divisible by 9, but it's not divisible by 27. So 81 doesn't work. And it's divisible by 5, but it's not divisible by 25. So 75 doesn't work. So finally, we're left with the smallest factor of 1980 greater than 66 is 90. Thus, the x we're looking for is 45, and the year we want is 2017 plus 45 equals 2062, which is indeed our final answer. So, that concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, give me a comment telling me how well or poorly I did. Maybe subscribe to, and check out some of my other videos, and share it with some friends you think might like it. Anyways, whether you do all that or none of that, I'm Brony Calc, and I will see you next time.